Radio check.
Hello and welcome back to Radio Check You Dare. I'm Melissa.
I'm Chelsea.
And the hills are alive with the sounds of engines roaring. Yes, we are back at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, let's just get things started with Paddock Pulse. Now, there wasn't really much breaking news going into the weekend. I know, shocker, it feels like every other weekend we have breaking now, so-and-so's leaving or so-and-so's joining. Who knows? But in honor of Niki Lauda during the parade over race weekend, his son Matthias actually drove his father's 1975 title-winning Ferrari 312T on track.
I love that.
I didn't even know he had a son. So I was just like, that's really cool.
I did know that. I forgot why. I feel like he did an interview some other anniversary or something.
Yeah. Which would make sense.
That's so sweet.
I was just like, oh, this is actually really cool. And if you live under a rock, you probably didn't know or you probably didn't see, but there was a special driver dinner on Stefano Domenicali's tab. And all 22 drivers were there.
I don't want to know how much money that is. I do, but I don't.
I do just because I'm curious, but just the amount of wealth that man must have too. And he probably didn't even have to pay anything. It probably was
maybe not for some drinks.
Yeah.
Something. I feel like they would let you get away with some drinks or dessert.
Yeah, something. So, but it was a miracle getting all 22 drivers, if you ask me.
I'm surprised all 22 drivers want to sit next to each other.
I know. I zoomed in on seeing who was sat next to each other.
Wait, was there anyone interesting?
No, you had, of course, I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see. F1 always posts 20 million things.
I know. Their social person is on fire. He or she or they, y'all doing amazing. They really crank that shit out quick. Sometimes it makes me laugh. Literally the race is ending and there's already a graphic saying winner.
Yeah, or for pole or podium finishes and everything. It's just
I wonder if they just have a bunch pre-made and then day of they're okay, post Charles, post
which
this
makes
guy.
sense. Yeah.
And how long have they been holding Alex's? Let me know.
No. We didn't have to go there.
I'm going there. He upset me this weekend.
A lot of people upset me this weekend. The FIA included. And we'll talk about that. Please be ready, everyone, because I have a lot of thoughts. But all I know is that Pierre and Charles were next to each other.
Very cute. Very dumb.
Yeah. So I think one of the cutest things to come out from the weekend was Esteban and Tom Holland meeting up before the actual race weekend commenced. And if you don't know, Esteban is a big Marvel fan and Tom Holland is doing the premieres in Europe right now. But the two of them meeting together, I feel like it's just something in his inner child that comes out. It's so cute.
He's definitely one of the more out there fans for Marvel. He's very committed. Yeah. Especially to Deadpool. I feel like that's his favorite.
And Spider-Man. Yeah. Everyone's favorite Spider-Man, so.
Right. So I'm not going to knock him for that. But the Deadpool one is funny because Deadpool personality does not match with SD in my head.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Maybe that's why he likes him.
Who knows? And who knows what the next movies coming out? I think it's Doomsday.
Spider-Man.
It's Doomsday.
Right?
Doomsday is coming out. Avengers Doomsday is coming
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming out in the end of the year. So who knows? Maybe he'll have a special helmet for that.
That'd be fun.
I would love that. Again, no major driver team updates. The only biggest thing I could honestly find online was Ferrari, Red Bull, and Cadillac brought updates to their cars this weekend.
I saw.
Yeah.
I would say Red Bull's definitely showcased it, but we'll talk about that. The next thing, liveries and helmets. I could not really find anything on liveries. Not sure why.
No, same, me neither.
Maybe it just wasn't popular. But 2 very cool helmets and 1 very sweet dedication. Max unveiled it's a orange lion helmet. I don't know. It's supposed to be brave or something. Like that was like the theme or something.
Yeah.
But basically, it's for all his fans who have watched him over the years. Obviously, the orange being for like Austria and the whole orange smoke that they do. But he is
Mhm.
gonna use it for two more races, Belgium
Mhm.
and Hungary. I hope I said that right. But it was really nice. I actually like the orange, and I really like the visor. Like, did you see the coloring? How
The
neat that
reflective,
was?
yeah, like with the reflection with the orange and
Yes.
everything, I was just like, chef's kiss.
Very big
It
fan.
yeah, it was really like pleasing to look at.
And then Oscar's was also super pleasing to look at.
Mhm.
He had a completely new helmet design. I think a lot of people online were comparing it to some Australian one he had.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Maybe I just couldn't see the similarity. But the colors to me were almost Aston Martin based,
Mhm.
just a little bit, because it looked like a lava lamp with like this sound wave design. It's supposed to be, I think, either created by or in collaboration with Allwyn, as part of like their sponsorship for Formula One and all that.
That's cool.
But I thought it looked cute. I love that it
Mhm.
looked like a lava lamp. It was so
Mhm.
nice.
Little lava lamp. We're to Spencer's. I love looking at the lava lamps here.
You just go in and look at everything.
Yep. I was like, wow.
I used to love lava lamps when I was little. But I'm
They're so
sorry,
cool.
besides the fact. The last thing just want to bring it up because it is a really sad thing that just happened recently with Latin America was Sergio. He came into the race or the race weekend, if I'm not wrong,
Mhm.
with a sticker for Venezuela down here for like the helmet.
Mhm.
And if you haven't heard, that's just because there was a recent earthquake where they had a very large devastation. So I love that he remembers his roots. He,
He
he's
brings attention
Latin.
to stuff like that. Yeah.
And it does, I think, need attention. It's still very sad.
Mhm.
If you're able to, there's no dishes online that you can find.
Yes.
But really, really nice to see. And then the last thing I have to talk about before we get into the race, this was so fun for me. I loved seeing all of the traditional wear on my screen from Austrian fans. There was so many beautiful dresses. I've never been to Austria. I don't really know much about it, if I'm being completely honest. Sorry to be ignorant. Just never looked into it. Those outfits, I will now look into it just to see the fashion history. They were so pretty.
Mhm.
Loved it.
I think they
Thank
should
you,
like do
Formula
like
One.
a showcase of like the traditional wears of like the countries they go to,
Yes,
so
they
we can get
should.
like more of like a little background.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think it'd
Do
be
it on
cool.
like practice days, a little section.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to do that in like a little
I
like
agree.
showcase type thing. So, and if like there's like other stuff like type of music or type of dances, like
I would like to know.
show us. Like it'd be cool.
I watch Formula One for more than the races sometimes. I like seeing the
Exactly.
countries.
Yeah, and it gives us a reason to explore new countries.
It really does. Formula One will have you traveling everywhere and anywhere to see some fast cars, but also might as well experience it while you're there. Like,
Exactly. Especially if you're a US fan, it's actually like better to go out of the US.
and listen, if you're a US fan and you're going to other places in US, don't eat at Chili's. At least look for the local places and like have
Mm-hmm.
fun with it. That's
Support your
that's
local eats.
what is it that Peter Griffin says that grinds my gears? Like,
Oh, I know what
how are
you're
you
talking
gonna
about. Yeah.
travel and not at least try the local cuisine?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You gotta try it. All I'm
Exactly.
saying. My two
Don't knock it to
cents.
yeah. Don't knock it till you try it. Anywho, now going into race chat, it was a pretty standard practice sessions. You had your typical like victory and within the top five. I will say Ferraris did look promising. Red Bulls were kind of performing pretty well and everything, but we'll get more on that in a little bit.
I mean, let's talk about quali.
Yes.
Um, I personally, this is me coming as a fan, so like I'm not hating on them. I'm just tired of cheering for a team like Williams, who I love, heart you,
Hmm.
but we
We love
can't even
them.
make it out of Q1 90% of the time. And to see Carlos and Alex literally both get there by milliseconds. Neither one of them missing elimination. Both out of here. My man, like, hasta cuándo?
For real. It
Like,
it's
I don't get it.
it just feels like they've just had such a rough season compared to like last year. And I get it. It's like new
Yes,
regs and everything like that, like there's always like a learning curve.
but even then,
But it's
are my
just getting
expectations too high?
That's why I'm like wondering. I'm like, it's like you have two like very experienced drivers, right? You have an experienced team principal. You have you're on. It's a team that has like such a legacy.
What's the missing link? Because Carlos is a great driver and so is Alex. So, like, what's happening?
Exactly. Exactly.
And I'm not biased.
It just doesn't. Something's just not adding up.
I don't know. Um, what was funny though was the complete opposite of that, and that was Max, who was overly confident to me because he literally had one flying lap, one in Q1 and Q2. All it
Singular
needed.
one. That's all.
I like the confidence though.
Just Max things, if we're being
Yeah.
honest. But
Share with the class.
seeing him Bennett in Q3 at the last possible second, I'm still in pain.
Yeah. I mean, I was crying for Pierre for a minute because like he was on the radio, like that felt like a good lap, and they were like, "You're out." Um,
Yeah.
and I was already coming off that, and then I see Max going into a wall, and I'm just like, "There's a lot going on right now."
Right. It's just, but like going back to Pierre, like think about like you think like you just had like such a great lap and you made it into
He
the
was
next level.
hype.
Yeah. And then just being like, yeah, so actually, we're out. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. That would have hurt. Like that would have hurt my feelings. I would
I
like,
would
could
have
you have lied until I got him back to the garage?
I would have crashed out. I'd have been like, excuse me? I put in all that work.
Also, I called this in my predictions, and we got to
Mm-hmm.
see a little bit during qualifying. George and
Mm-hmm.
Antonelli are going to be fighting the shit out of each other forevermore until something happens. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because George has something to prove. And I kind of get it. I get it. Like,
I kind of
he's a
do.
little bit of an old man, my age. A little bit of an old man compared to, like, Antonelli, this little
Antonelli's
jit
like
who's
a
just coming in and
bean.
kicking his ass. So I get it. I would also be like a little bit like, well, the fuck.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm staying with my prediction though for the three races.
I have a lot of opinions about this. The fact that we could have had like, so long story short, we all know George got pulled with the Ferraris behind Charles and Lewis. The fact that we were so close to a front row lockout, it literally was just like ripped away
I
from my
get your
hands.
pain. Like I understand it.
It's just so annoying because like
It's right there.
it's right there, and just like the whole situation of the matter, because essentially like Max spinned it, and then there was a whole debate: was it a single yellow flag or was it a double yellow flag?
Right.
Everyone saying it should have been a double yellow flag because of the incident, how dangerous the incident was, and where it took place and everything. And if someone else binned it in that area, it could be very
Right.
tragic. Um, and Kimmy, you know, gave up the lap, but George didn't. And what happens?
But that's
George gets a
Kimmy's
pull.
fault. Like, did someone
Well,
tell him to pull back on the lap?
they told him it was like a double yellow, or like he's like if you see on the footage, like you can see like the double yellows like come up, and like he's told about the flags.
Then see, that's a Mercedes problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mercedes' fault. Here's the problem for me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame the drivers a lot at all when they're driving.
Yeah.
Because nothing else should be their job.
Mm-hmm.
Their job should be to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're an engineer, you shouldn't be telling one driver something and this one telling this one something else. That's on
Mm-hmm.
you and that's on your team now. I'm not going to blame George or Kimmy.
Well, I'm gonna blame George
I'm going to blame
Just
the
bec-
engineer who should have told George.
just because I wanted that pull.
Girl, you need to start blaming Mercedes as a whole.
But it's just the way George also explained it. Just kind of like just annoyed me. It's just
He's
just starting to-
pretentious.
Exactly, and that whole like his attitude about stuff is just like it's starting to just not. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm not here to bash him because he is a good driver at the end of the day. But some of the stuff that he does do, I'm just like, okay. Okay.
I say we have to give Kimmy 5 more years before we get annoyed with him doing something.
Yeah.
Right now, he's cute. He's really good.
Yeah. But I also feel like I don't know. We also haven't like seen him like do some stuff where like he has to.
Hey, he just got here.
Yeah. So, duh. Duh.
Give it a few more years. I feel like that's like
Right.
every driver. You love them for the beginning, and then you kind
Yeah.
of get to know them for a couple years, few years, and you're like, oh,
And then they
actually,
start saying
like,
some stuff and it's just like, wow,
mm.
maybe we shouldn't.
So I love them for now, but you will never see me 100% backing a driver. Even Carlos has said some
Oh yeah.
like misogynistic shit. I'm like, why? Why do
You
you
always have
open
to
your
hold like
mouth?
these people accountable because at the end of the day,
Yes,
they're people.
all of them except Alex Albon. You're perfect.
We love you.
I've never heard anything wrong about that man.
We love him.
Okay,
Big
wait.
fan.
So moving on,
Because we have to.
we have to. This race for me, and viewers, listeners, if you have watched the race, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. That race beginning was very chaotic because why is it lap 4 and I'm already having 3 people complaining about smoke and fire from their cars?
Right. Liam was complaining about it at one point.
It was if I'm not in the wrong, it was Botas was first. He was
Mm-hmm.
like lap 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then Liam Lawson was like lap 4, and then like
Mm-hmm.
Leah lap like 6, 7. Don't quote me on 6, 7. It was either, oh my god, who was it? I think it was Caddy again. It was Sergio because he
I
had to
think it
get
was
out.
Sergio, yeah. Because they both DNF'd.
Right. R.I.P. Caddy. You guys will get it one day. But I just don't like. Why is this happening? When will we finish race?
All we have yet to have a race where everyone finishes. We've already passed the part where all drivers start. We're there. We
Which
already
is
made it.
okay. Nice.
But we
Bingo.
haven't had anyone or everyone finish since the start.
But
Yeah.
like,
It's
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 kind of
crazy to
crazy.
yeah, it's really crazy to think about when you put into that perspective because we're not halfway through the season, but I feel like we've had a lot of races already.
We're like 33%.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's just like, well, it's also the teams that always finish. Like, I'm never surprised either. Like Cadillac, I'm not surprised because they're still like kind of like figuring like their
New.
shit out of like the new regs being in the sport, and then like again they have two experienced drivers, but again it is a new set of like everything in Cadillac world. So for them, I'm not shocked. I would like them to finish. I would like points, especially for our American team, because like
You're
USA.
asking for too much.
I am asking for too much. So there's that.
I don't know. I feel like it's always the top 5 and it's always the bottom 5. Do
Mm-hmm.
those switch around within themselves? Yeah. But
We'll
they're
get a
still
wild
usually the
card,
top
yeah.
5 and they're still usually the bottom 5.
Yeah, we'll get like a
Like
wild card every once in a while, but it's like
McLaren, this is a perfect example. McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari, and ¿cómo se llama
Mercedes.
este? Mercedes.
Yep.
All of them in the past 3 years have always been in the top 5. Different times, different drivers, but always the same teams.
And then in the bottom you have Williams,
One team that's changed name 3 times.
Toro
Another
Rosso,
team.
Vicar, Bull Racing, Race
Actually, I'll say
Bulls,
about Alpine, but that one too.
Alpine as well
And
too.
as Aston Martin has also changed name like 3 times. All of
Mm-hmm.
those teams that never, which maybe could be a reason they're not succeeding. I mean, these people are switching names every 2 to 3 years. I
Maybe
mean,
maybe
new companies, new faces, new
maybe we
teams. Like,
should stick to the same thing more than 3 years, or maybe Alpine should go back to Renault, but they're gonna be
Formula.
Gucci.
The thing is, Formula One is almost like a sunken investment. Like you're not gonna see that shit anytime soon. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
ROI on it, I get it. But if you're actually doing this for the love of the sport, maybe you should stick around for a few more years. I think it might actually go somewhere. Like you're talking about Mercedes and Williams and Ferrari. These teams have been around for generations. Of course they're succeeding. They've been here for years to focus
yeah.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you're not going to succeed against them. You guys are giving up after 3 years.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how like the whole Gucci thing goes,
I don't know.
because it's the same thing with like who's the football players that like invested in Alpine and they just like show up to like the
Oh,
Miami race? Yeah.
is that the Taylor Swift people?
Yeah.
Uh,
Travis, Kelsey, and
yes, those people. The
whatever
brother.
Malone. Yeah, and the dude that has like the Kermit the Frog voice. I'm sorry, no
I didn't know
disrespect
there
to
was
him.
another person, but okay.
Yeah, it's both of them. Like they're invested. It's like a few players like from their team that are like invested in Alpine or like have a share with Alpine
Right.
something, and they only show up like around like my. But I don't think they even showed up to this last one. But I mean, of course, we still have Coda in Las Vegas. But
I mean, one team that was doing good, kind of like since Friday, I would say, was McLaren.
mm-hmm,
They're not doing amazing, but they're also not in the tractor. I feel like they were in the beginning of the season.
they were doing pretty decent this weekend.
Right. I mean, they're starting. They're a little bit of a midfield team almost to me at this point. It's just it's happening. That's where they end up, and then they'll always end up kind of in the front at the end of the race. But throughout most of the race, they've been kind of midfield fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And also like another thing I've noticed is why is Lando now the one falling behind, and Oscar feels like he's driving up the ranks. Meg, don't kill me. This was just an observation. I noticed it today in the race.
It's a fair observation.
Did they switch cars? Conspiracy theory. Quote me.
It could be. It could be.
I don't know.
Something's I don't know. It's just we know like with new regs that there's always the teams that like, are
Figure
up
it
to
out.
speed. Yeah, they figured it out and everything like that. And then you always have the ones that are like that hit the learning curve and like don't get into like towards the end of the regs. We saw it with this last one before everything changed this year. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see, but I am sad that Ferrari's rocket ship starts have stopped. Because I actually like enjoyed seeing those starts because they were always just like zoom. And I'm just like, yes, go. But then like our straight line speed and everything is just like it's okay.
I mean, it's definitely not a rocket, but they're amazing defensive driving
Mm-hmm.
today. Like it was good from both of them. Charles and Lewis
Mm-hmm.
were fighting left or right.
Oh yeah.
And Kimmy truly tried throwing everything at Charles at some point. I want to say like it was around lap 10.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't count the lap. But Charles had to defend hard. Like I is the
Because
car a
they
little
felt, I
shitty?
mean,
I think so, yes,
yeah,
but they definitely know how to push it.
yeah, because they fell back like pretty quick. Again, I feel like
Yes.
it just all of it depends like from track to track, obviously, but watching them race against each other, I'm always just like, oh my god, because we both know like they're not gonna like they're willing to risk it, but are they like I don't know. It's just like
I
they
don't know. I think they're willing to
whisk
risk
it.
it to a certain point, but they
Yeah,
also acknowledge the cost
yeah,
that it would
and
take
then
if they actually.
yeah, because then like it costs the team points because right now they're in second for the constructors.
Which isn't really a bad spot to be in.
It's not, no, not at all. So there's that.
I don't know. I believe in them.
I do too. It's always Forza Ferrari, but I am kind of tired.
Unless you're a Mercedes fan right now, and even then, they're kind of exhausted.
We all are exhausted.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention Max. Now, I'm not really that big of a fan of Max. Is he a great driver? Yes, he is. I
I
respect
feel
that.
like that's the common denominator for
That
most
is,
people.
yeah. I gotta give him credit when it's due. I'm just not a fan. That is all. But going from P5 to P2 very early on.
I think he's just very fun to watch defensively. Not defensively. I think he would be offensively driving.
Offensive, yeah, like the overtakes and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like when he starts like from somewhere like in the middle or towards the back of the
He
grid.
has way more drive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because he's
Not
just
not
like
to say the pun, but you know what I
yeah,
mean.
exactly. Because like you have something to fight for, moving up the ranks and everything. And so, and then he makes it entertaining because it's just like again, he's one of those drivers like he'll risk it. He doesn't
I
care.
think he said in an interview that he did like actually starting more from the middle sometimes.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense. So,
I just
I
think that him competing against Ferrari and Mercedes, because these were like the two teams that I think were really kind of hard for him to go around. No offense to
mm-hmm.
McLaren, because he did go around them. But the battle with Charles was so good. And you know he's trying hard when you see him lock up immediately after passing Charles. Like he was just pushing it as much as he could to pass him already.
Oh yeah.
And they were literally separated by mere millimeters. Like absolutely no yielding from either one of them. Shout out to Charles. Just straight pushing it. I almost thought we were going to see another recreation of when George put that big hole in Max's car.
Oh my God, yeah, I remember that. But
Because their
even
tires,
yeah,
they were
the
right
wheel to
there.
wheel, yeah. Even like watching it between like him and Lewis at some points, it's just brought back like the 21 memories where it's like, okay. But it was also like fun like seeing them compete because like they're both in
Yeah.
this air. They know like how game, like the same game recognizes game. So it's like they know how the other like maneuvers and everything. So it's like they know how to push each other to those limits while
I
still,
think they also, like you're saying, know when to stop pushing so an
yeah,
accident doesn't happen.
exactly. Exactly. Now, if something happens, I mean, it's kind of like shit out of luck, but it is what it
Racing
is.
incident.
It's just an incident.
This
And
incident.
yeah, no. And keeping on that Ferrari train, that three-stop tire strategy was a fail. That's all I gotta say. Like, please, guys.
I didn't get it. I feel like they could have succeeded with two.
Oh, they 100% could have.
And like, there was a moment. I was cackling. I'm sorry. There was a moment where the engineer's like, box, box, box. And Lewis is like, you told me too late. And they're just like, in the most exasperated, defeated tone, the engineer goes, we tried.
We tried.
My man, this is what I'm saying. If you're a driver, you're not focused on any of this. This shouldn't be your
Hmm.
focus. These engineers are slacking. You're not
They are.
slacking, actually. You
They
guys are
are.
probably doing a great job, but that was two slacks in this race from different drivers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it was just more towards the end of the race where I started to see Ferrari falling behind because in the beginning I think they were really doing well, even like midway. It was like around lap 60, maybe
Yeah, it was
50
like
something.
they were even like saying like we could probably finish on the podium.
Right. And so there was definitely a certain point there where I thought at least one of them
Yeah.
um would have made it. But I think what happened was they just completely lost the pace, and for Charles after the third tire change, like that's really where I saw it. And while Lewis was able to actually like he kept a pretty good pace with Max, but
Yeah.
he was also just like kind of wild and I'm talking about Max here. Exactly, Teddy. My notes are that. My notes are me barking into my notes saying, Max, no, leave that man alone.
He is a
Because
kind man.
again, Max is the kind of driver that will practically be on top of another car. Again,
Mm-hmm.
they know their limits. Like you said, game respect game. Lewis knows when to pull off too. But I'm just like,
Sometimes they'll just do it.
who's gonna do it first? Chicken. Like, what's going on?
No, literally, it's a game of chicken.
I don't know. But I mean, Lewis was driving really well.
No, he was. I mean, I feel like everyone
Charles was
was.
too, but Lewis,
Yeah.
I don't know. There was something about watching him with Max that really like had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. It's just something about them. Watching them compete is just like, is it gonna happen? What's gonna happen next? Type thing. But I do want to give kudos to Isak. That kid, it's what his second year in? Yeah, second year in. And he's been doing a pretty great job keeping up with Max this season compared to like, and no, again, no offense to like Yuki, Liam, Danny, Rick, and everything. We all know what the real issue was at Red Bull. And some changes happened last year. And I think
I
that really
forgot
helped
he's
out.
gone.
Oh my God. And I think that really helped out too. Because I feel like Laurent Makis, I think is his last name. I may have butchered that. I
I
feel like
think
he's
so.
doing a good job of like keeping order and like maintaining like an even like playing field. Of course, you're always gonna have like your number one and your number two, but I
You
feel like
saying that
he's
though, they can be more obvious with Red Bull because it's Max.
yeah, but it doesn't feel so obvious this season. You
It
know?
does, but it doesn't
Yes, it's like we know, but they don't make it.
obvious. But like it's
Yes,
also like the way Isaac is, you know that he knows he's second driver.
exactly. But he still is like aggressive. He's still like
So good.
putting himself up there and everything. So it's just like, I mean, here he was on like podium. Granted, the podium was taken away, but he's
Which I'm still mad
still,
about.
and it's nothing with Pierre because like we were also like upset for
We
Pierre
also like
too.
Pierre.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm like waiting for him to like get back on the podium, and I feel like it's gonna happen sometime this season. I would like to see a win. Can I see it happening? Possibly. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Do you remember when Pierre had that one win in Alpine?
Yes, it was Monza.
Okay, I feel like that's the kind of win that Isaac could get.
Yeah, same. Like an iconic, like emotional one.
Right. Because he was doing really well. And
Yeah.
something you said that was really true about him is he's an amazing defensive driver. Like he has
Mm-hmm.
no qualms in being a defensive driver.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, he got fastest lap around I want to say like lap 18. Again, I
Mm-hmm.
should probably write these things down. But fastest lap is really good when you're driving against these people like Mercedes and Kimi and George. Even if it is one lap, you hit it. And he passed Charles when he was racing around Oscar. Love that. So I actually, for the first time in my life, I'm going to say, keep him in the Red Bull second seat.
I think
I
he's a good
actually
fit.
think, yes, he is right for the exact position. I think Liam Lawson would have been too cocky. I think Arvid almost maybe would have been too cocky too. There is something about Isaac that he knows this is a stepping stone to maybe take Max's seat because he knows Max isn't going to be here forever.
Yeah, he understands that like he has to take like certain steps to like
Right.
achieve. Yeah.
And
I just feel
almost
like
low
Yuki
key,
just got like a bad hand at like luck. That's
I think Yuki is such like a rough conversation because I loved Yuki. I don't think he was Max driving
level.
similar. Right.
Yeah. Because they're both such different styles too.
Yes. So like that was the other thing that sucked. I almost want to say that Isak maybe is a bit of an aggressive driver like Max.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So that actually again, I think because he knows not to compete with Max, they're gonna work so much better than any other team.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they've been needing is someone that understands their role on that team as the
Right.
number two.
But I think out of all the rookies, even though he's not the best or whatever, like compared to
Mhm.
Kimmy and all this bullshit, Isak to me is my favorite.
Oh yeah, same here. He's really good.
Mm-hmm. But I think it was just really fun to watch him race and get in the mid because other really than Isak that I was paying attention to in the midfield, most of my focus was in the front this race.
Mm-hmm.
Because George, stay away from Charles. Okay, again, my notes are leave him alone. I'm witnessing Charles and George compete for the front, and George gives me anxiety. And I'm pretty sure again the tires touched at some point. So he gives me anxiety.
He again, good driver. There's a reason why he is in a Mercedes seat.
I understand.
It's just sometimes I feel like he can be really reckless. I'm trying to like think how I can like word this.
Right.
And I don't even know if reckless is like the correct word to use here. But
just overly confident.
Yeah, and it's like when things don't go his way, like it's like when he starts like having like a hissy fit like over the radio.
Throwing that shit.
Yeah, or exactly, or like throwing like the shit out of the car and like, like all the like and like he'll like, have like more hissy fits like at post race interviews and everything. And I'm like,
I get what you're saying.
yeah, and it's just like stuff like that. But like, and I feel like sometimes like that comes out in his driving.
I can see it, especially when you like obviously we don't know, but like sometimes it just feels like such a last minute decision on his end to like push more or like
Yeah.
break or do something, and you're like, was that a conscious decision or was that a reckless one?
Did we think twice about that? Maybe we
Just
should.
so I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's I'm just very interested to see how the rest of the season turns out between him and Kimmy.
Me too. Especially after whatever the big thing is happens. How
Hmm.
will they learn from it?
How will they learn from it? How will they react from it? And then how will they move on from it?
Yeah.
I think that's something,
Will they
yeah,
be a Mercedes or will they reconcile?
exactly. And they're not even like a Mercedes right now, anyways. So, because
Exactly,
I,
but I mean more the drama
yeah,
where they never
you know,
talk
yeah,
again.
no, yeah, yeah. Ignores each other at like interviews.
Like, And the thing is, George is petty enough to ignore them, I think.
100%.
I don't know if
He,
Kimmy would be petty enough, but I know George would be.
George, 100%. I wouldn't put it past him. No, not at all.
I don't know.
Now, we can talk about George again. We can probably write like a whole like synopsis of this man and
A
of
whole
every driver.
dissertation.
Right, exactly. In this thesis, I will. Now, we talked about a few of these DNFs, but we did have a total of 4 DNFs. None of them, honestly, if you ask me, are not a surprise. Unfortunately, Lance. I
I
feel
don't
like
even know when that happened.
I was gonna say I feel like it's either always him or Fernando or the both of them.
Yeah.
Carlos, same thing.
Yeah.
Always him or Alex, and then of course both caddies.
I will say I thought Alex was going to DNF because I don't know if you saw like towards the end of the race, he hit a pole on turn 3 and that little yellow pole went flying onto the track and he
That's
just
crazy.
kept racing.
Oopsies.
Because he just hit it with his tire and he just kept going.
He definitely said oopsies when he hit it. Oopsies.
Williams was saved from 2 DNFs. And then, as we have discussed this freaking crazy race, your podium finishers, you had P1 George. Not surprising. P2 Max and P3 Kimmy. It's a Mercedes Red Bull sandwich. I don't think Max minded being in the middle.
No. And Toto loved it because he's obsessed with Max still.
He's like, those are my 3 Mercedes drivers.
Right, exactly. And then he looks at Louis, he's like, you're my 4th one too.
Crying.
Now, there has been a change in the World Drivers' Championship rankings. George is P2 again. Yes, Lewis, unfortunately, is down to P3. So now George is a whopping 40 points. Yes, 4-0 behind Kimmy.
Womp womp.
I'm just... Again, it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to be... I kind of want Kimmy to take it home at the end.
I want Kimmy to take it all.
I want Kimmy to take it all.
I have nothing against George. I just feel like Kimmy's worked his ass off enough. Like, okay, does George have the years on him? Yes.
Yes.
But that shouldn't negate the heart that this kid is putting into, like, his rookie years.
He's proven a lot of people wrong.
Like, sorry, George.
Including myself. Exactly.
I don't know. Like, I feel bad. Like, when it was Oscar and Lando, I genuinely did want Lando to win first. Mm-hmm. Because there was something about Lando that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You see, like, that, like, drive in them.
Right. And then with George, it's almost like he already expects the win.
Exactly.
Lando did fight for that shit. I need to see George fight for it because I know Kimmy is.
And Kimmy has been. That's all I gotta say.
Also, I just feel like people need to know this. Max went into a wall and then went to splitting the Mercedes drivers in P2, so never count Max out.
Never.
Because I used to.
Never. We all did last season.
Yeah.
And
I'm never doing that again.
That man creeped up. Cue the Jaws music.
Okay, listeners. Anyways. I will say, never count Max out and never count us out because I will be putting Max in my predictions again. Anyways, that is the end, however, of this episode. Now, I had a great time covering this episode. I don't know about you guys. This race was actually really fun to watch. I will never, ever miss a Lewis and Max fight. I love to see it.
Love to see it.
And tune in again soon because we will have our predictions for Silverstone coming up, and it will be a special episode. That's going to be Melissa and Chris. A little couple action for you guys. Don't worry, it's
Well,
PG-13.
date night.
But if you are listening, please don't forget to like and subscribe and drop your, thoughts below. I want to see what you thought about the race. I also want to see your predictions if you guys
I
want to let
love
us
seeing
know.
them.
We do read all your comments and messages, everything. I love to read. And we are at Radio Check You There, where you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, TikTok, and we will respond. Thank you
Yes,
guys.
we
We'll
will.
see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.